Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I had to start with this. David Schwartz denies being a billionaire. I honestly thought David Schwartz was a billionaire as well. But he said it's because he opted for a 2% stake in the company, Ripple, and a salary instead of XRP tokens. I even remember David once said he regrets not taking XRP. But if he's not a billionaire now, I'm sure he will become a billionaire once Ripple does their IPO. I'm expecting that to happen early 2025. Then there's this. Boom, in order for XRP to function properly, the price needs to be very high. In order for the banks to utilize XRP for on-demand liquidity, it has to be at a much higher price. It can't be sitting around $2 or even $20. It has to be much higher. But at one time, JP Morgan, they wanted to buy all 50 billion XRP that Ripple has in escrow, and Ripple turned them down. That was before the Rippleverse SEC case even started. I still think that's one of the reasons that JP Morgan most likely went to Congress and the whole Rippleverse SEC case started in the first place. Because JP Morgan, they looked at Ripple's technology and XRP and they said, holy shit, this is not good. This is going to disrupt the entire banking system. And it's going to take a lot of money out of our pockets. Because JP Morgan, they make money when people send money cross borders. They collect those big fees. XRP cuts off those fees. Plus it moves that money in a matter of a few seconds instead of taking days. And JP Morgan was always scared shitless by XRP. And now the case is coming to an end. And the times have changed since back then. A lot of people moved away from the traditional banking system. More and more money shifts away from the banks and it shifts into these cash apps and crypto and other places. People no longer store their money at the banks. That's why we're going to have that liquidity crisis. Unless Congress acts very quick and allows the banks to get involved with digital assets. I am expecting that shift to happen in 2025 as well. Take a listen to Chris Larson here, things that he says, and definitely listen to what he says about China.
Am I right in thinking the strategy is then to get kind of a nationwide deployment of Ripple? And if so, how is that going to work? What's the strategy?
Yeah, so the strategy really is now first try to get a bank in each of the key regions of the world. Because if you can connect one bank on ACH in the US to one bank on SEPA in Europe, you have effectively connected all of the banks on those two networks. So you really get a multiplier effect. Now we have this Fedor out of Germany on SEPA, and we have now these two US banks on ACH. Now we got to work on China, we got to work in South America, India, and really continue to spread it and get to some of the bank networks. So definitely getting banks as gateways to bring currencies onto the platform is very important. And then along with that, bringing market makers to make markets between those currencies, cross currencies. We've already been pretty successful there. We have about 7 institutional market makers already. Now it's really kind of filling it up with banks.
So you take notice to what Chris Larson just said. You only have to connect 1 or 2 banks. And then all of a sudden, you're connecting all these banks together. He specifically mentioned 2 BRICS countries as well, China and India. And people still don't think that BRICS are going to utilize RippleNet and XRP. But he also said this will also bring DeFi, lending and borrowing as well. That's what that will lead to over time. I promise you this post will age like fine wine. 2025 to 2030. Adoption equals the year of CBDCs. And that's also what Chris was talking about. Once you start making these connections, central bank digital currencies are going to be running on that Ripple net technology, most likely utilizing XRP in a lot of cases. Later, they're all going to want to utilize XRP because sure, RLUSD might open the door, but XRP makes all those transactions faster and even cheaper than using a stablecoin. That's how you know the future looks very good for XRP holders. Whenever you think of those high prices, this is the path to getting there. Everything that runs on the XRP ledger needs XRP, and every inefficient trade automatically triggers auto bridging to use XRP to offer a more efficient route than the original direct route. XRP is at the heart of every single thing on the XRP ledger. Think about that. That's why I said, even if they choose to utilize RLUSD, it's still going to bring value to XRP. Everything that runs on the XRP ledger brings value to XRP. RLUSD and XRP, a powerhouse duo. RLUSD adds massive liquidity to XRP ledger, enabling cross-border payments, DeFi, tokenization, efficient on-off ramps, micropayments, e-commerce, smart contracts. And when it comes to tokenization, RLUSD is going to play a very big role there as well. But then you look at the micropayments, and that's going to be billions upon billions of transactions happening all the time. And e-commerce is the path forward. That's going to lead to mass adoption. First, we'll get the institutional adoption, which will lead to mass adoption. But that's why RLUSD was so important. It wasn't meant to replace XRP. It was meant to complement XRP and open doors for XRP. You will see RLUSD on Stellar soon enough. I've already shown that Stellar had a conversation with FSB about global stablecoins in 2021. Whether RLUSD is minted on Stellar or bridged, you will see it. That comes from Mr. Man. RLUSD is going to run on the Stellar network, XDC network, Cardano network. Most likely it'll end up on Algorand. I'm expecting it to also run on Hedera eventually, because all these networks are going to come together. They're going to all be working side by side in the new financial system. I'm also expecting in 2025, Ripple to most likely announce a stablecoin in at least 2 more countries. I'm expecting the EU and most likely Japan, possibly even a third one in the UK, because that's the path forward. And take a listen to what Brad Garlinghouse says here during a presentation to the IMF and Swiss National Bank.
Because it requires capital to get it there. Our view in the future is you don't have to have this pre-funding, and instead you can use a digital asset to have global liquidity on demand. Now, we build upon a tech stack, an open source technology called XRP. XRP originally was built by some engineers who had seen some of the flaws of Bitcoin and the challenges of scalability around Bitcoin. Where Bitcoin today, on a per transaction basis, it's rather slow and rather expensive. XRP is very, very fast, about 1,000 times faster per transaction and 1,000 times cheaper per transaction. The other dynamic, of course, of correspondent banking is some of the more quote-unquote exotic currencies, exotic corridors have been left to kind of stand on their own. And the liquidity in digital assets could be applied to actually make that much more democratized and a level playing field. Ripple's vision from the beginning really has been to apply these technologies in the same way that TCP/IP and HTTP are the technologies underpinning the Internet of Information. These blockchain technologies will be the underpinnings of an Internet of Value, where we have connected devices, we have connected information that will allow payments to flow. And as Norman was describing, if you're a large corporation moving $100 million, that's one thing. If you're you're a freelancer working in the Philippines doing design work for a company in London, and you want to get paid $30 or 30 pesos, Philippine pesos, that's not a transaction that can easily be enabled. And in fact, for the companies that enable that, they require the freelancer to set up an account, and they don't actually pay it out until there's roughly 1,000 USD sitting in that account, and then they would pay it out.
So what it's going to do, it's going to level the playing field in all of these underbanked countries as well. But not every country is going to want to utilize RLUSD because it's tied to US dollars. They're going to want their own currency, their own stable coin that they want to work with, because no country wants to have a reserve currency anymore. They all want a level playing field. And Ripple and XRP is going to make that possible. We're not going to go into a new financial system and have the US dollar dominating all these countries, especially now as we're watching the shift away from the US dollar. Every single country that wants to join the BRICS, they're saying, hey, we don't want the US dollar anymore. We want something new. So XRP, because it's a world's bridge currency, can make that possible. It actually strengthens the US dollar in some ways, but it opens up new currencies for all of these underbanked countries at the same time, if that all makes sense to you. But I'm trying to explain how it's all going to work together with a massive liquidity pool in the middle, which could be XRP, RLUSD to RLEUR, with XRP in the middle, working as a trust layer or a bridge currency. And that's going to happen between the United States and the UK, United States, even BRICS, and back and forth, and even in between BRICS countries as well. That's the path forward that I see playing out right now in real time. This has been building out for years, and it's all coming together perfectly. Staking legislation set to be passed in the EU early 2025. So it looks like they're going to open up staking in the UK, in early 2025. And again, staking is the path forward, because once you get staking, you could start to earn passive income. And a lot of things are going to change very fast in 2025. I think the US is going to lead the way in many ways. The rest of the world is going to have to play catch up with the United States, the same way that the US is right now getting ready to play catch up with all these other countries that got the upper hand on the US during the Biden administration. While we were cracking down on crypto, a lot of countries were pushing full steam ahead. And I gotta say this one more time. Stop interacting with the bots in the comments section. I'm not sending you a number for you to text me. Those are bots. And here's another way to keep your crypto safe. I get these messages from Coinbase all the time, and it looks like a lot of people are getting these messages from Ledger as well. You are going to be caught off guard when you receive a scam email like this. Scammers are trying to scare you into sharing seed and key phrases. They will duplicate your wallets in minutes and empty your wallets. Do not share private info ever. Don't interact with the bots. Don't interact with emails like this. You gotta keep your crypto safe. Nobody's doubling your bag. Ripple's not going to double your bag. You are going to lose your crypto. And I stress that. You know, a lot of other people, they don't care to warn you about this. I want to make sure you keep your crypto safe so I can get rich with every single one of you. You know, a lot of you have been watching my videos since I started this channel in the worst year in crypto, back in 2022. I see a lot of familiar names in the comments section all the time. You made it this far. Don't lose your crypto now. Keep your crypto safe. Don't share anything with anyone. You know, Coinbase and Ledger and Uphold, they're not going to ask you for this information. And they're not going to tell you to reset your password all the time. And always, if you do get a message like this, make sure you're talking to these companies. Message their tech team, their support team. Ask them about the email before you do anything. Because most likely their tech team or their support team is going to tell you that that email did not come from them. People are going to try to steal your crypto time and time again. Keep your crypto safe. Don't interact with the bots. I want to get rich with all of you. I stress that more than anything. You know, you are all the most important part of this channel to me. You give me your time. That is priceless. I want you to all get rich. Until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.